This video is going to be about World War I. We're going to start that with this video and continue on with the next couple of videos or so. Starting out with the major causes of World War I. World War I was the biggest war that had ever been waged on the planet Earth up until that time. It's only going to be surpassed by World War II, which is about double the size. So let's go over our causes for World War I. One is militarism, okay? Countries had spent decades, the last few decades in the early 1900s, building up their militaries. And if you build up your military and you have the biggest military, you probably want to use it. That's the bad thing about militarism. The bigger it gets, the more people want to use it. Russia wants a warm water port. They want to be able to ship goods in and out during the winter. Most of their ports in the European side of Russia are frozen over during the winter months. France wants to retake a piece of land called Alsace-Lorraine from Germany. And this is the big one right here. Germany wants more imperial possessions. We are very much in the age of imperialism, where countries are out there grabbing other countries and making them part of their own and stealing their resources so they can manufacture them into finished goods and sell them back to the very people that they're stealing from. So, imperialism is competition between the haves, England, France, and Russia. These are the countries that have a lot of imperial possessions. And the have-nots, the countries that did not develop imperial possessions so far, are Germany, Italy, and Austria-Hungary. Another main reason for the war is nationalism. Nationalism is extreme loyalty to your country or your ethnic group. You think that your group is the best, and therefore you are fighting for that group. Nationalism helped to spark World War I since small ethnic groups wanted their own country instead of being ruled as imperial possessions. The biggest thing, well, not the biggest thing, but the second biggest reason for this war to go worldwide, to go global, is because of secret alliances, okay? We have the Triple Alliance and the Triple Entente, and these two alliances are going to go after each other after the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. So what happened was, folks, there's this little country called Serbia. It's right next to Austria. And Serbia was on the decline. Serbia was shrinking, and Austria wanted to gobble it up and make it part of the Austrian Empire. So the King of Austria sent his son, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, and his wife to Serbia, to the capital city of Sarajevo, and they were in a military parade there. Well, the Serbians didn't like that, and so they ended up shooting the Archduke and his wife. And Austria is going to use the killing of Archduke Franz Ferdinand as an excuse to go to war so they can gobble up Serbia. So they invade Serbia. But what they don't know is that Serbia has a secret alliance with Russia. So Russia invades Austria, but what Russia doesn't know is that Austria has a secret alliance with Germany. And so Germany goes in to fight Russia. And what Germany doesn't know is that Russia has a secret alliance with Britain and France. And so Britain and France come in on Russia's side there, and all of a sudden all of Europe is at war, all the major countries anyway. So that's how the war starts, folks, and the reason for all these people getting involved so quickly is because of secret alliances. Alright, here we go. What was the catalyst that began World War I? It's going to be the assassination of the Austro-Hungarian Archduke Franz Ferdinand, okay? Which is not a cause of World War I. We've got nationalism, militarism, imperialism, and communism. Communism was not a big factor in World War I, okay? Alright, in 1914, World War I began when Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. Why did so many other countries enter the war once it began? And that's going to be secret alliances. That is the answer right there, okay? Alright, we're moving on. Start of the fighting. Fighting starts with Germany's invasion of France through Belgium. Russia sought to help France, forcing Germany to fight on two fronts. Eventually, fighting on both fronts evolves into massive trench warfare. Both sides dug trenches in the Western Front, which is in eastern France, And they dug so many trenches there that if you laid them end to end, they would stretch all the way around the earth, which is about 25,000 miles worth of trenches. The Battle of Marne, okay, and the Battle of the Somme. Now, it looks like Somme, but it's actually the Battle of the Somme. Along the Western Front are two major battles. Germany led the Central Powers, okay, and fought with Austria-Hungary, and Italy joined the Allies with France and Russia later on, and England as well, okay. So on the Central Power side, we have Germany, we have Austria-Hungary, we have the Ottoman Empire, and at first we have Italy, okay. But Italy doesn't do any fighting, and a year later they switch sides and they join the Allies, which is England, France, and Russia, who will later be joined by the United States of America later in the chapter. So, moving on, okay, America enters World War I, okay. So, what's going on here, folks? We had an excellent trade development here with a couple of countries, England and France, and they were supposed to be borrowing money from America to fight the Germans, okay. Now, as we are going forward here, Germany surrounds the island of Great Britain, and they declare a killing zone. They say, if you come to this island, then we are going to sink your ship. It doesn't matter if you are a warship, a passenger ship, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're going to sink you. Well, a British passenger liner that looked exactly like the Titanic, because it was the Titanic's sister ship, the Lusitania, they went from America all the way to England, and well, they tried to go all the way to England. Once they got to around Ireland, they got sunk by a German U-boat, killing about 1,200 people, and out of those, 128 were Americans. This is 1915. So we basically were about to go to war with Germany. We were having meetings in the Senate to discuss declaring war against Germany. And Germany comes along and promises that they'll never do it again with something called the Sussex Pledge. Okay? So the Germans say they'll never attack another passenger ship. So we say, fine. Okay, if you just attacked one, we'll let that slide. Well, Germany held up its end for about 2 years. And then we got a secret message called the Zimmermann telegram that was actually intercepted. It was meant to go from Germany to Mexico. And what the message says, it says two different things that you need to be aware of. Number one, Germany will soon resume unrestricted submarine warfare, which means that they're going to start sinking passenger ships again, which breaks the Sussex Pledge. Now, they fully expected America would declare war on Germany after that. So they said if America does declare war on Germany, then Germany wants Mexico to invade the southwest of the United States, and Germany would pay for the entire war, okay? All right, U-boats. Oh, by the way, the Zimmermann telegram was the straw that broke the camel's back, and we declared war on Germany in 1917, and then we proceeded to go over there and kick their butts, okay? America. Anyway, so moving on. U-boats. Germany adopted unrestricted submarine warfare to compete with England's much larger surface fleet and to blockade England's coast. Okay, I think I might have gotten ahead of myself, but that's okay. All right, how did the sinking of the Lusitania contribute to U.S. involvement in World War I? Okay, I would say it increased the American public support for the war against Germany. That is the answer right there, okay? More Americans wanted to go to war because we lost Americans. All right, 12. Why was it difficult for the U.S. to remain neutral during World War I? All right, because we had very good trading relationships with our allies, Britain and France, as well, okay? Now, one reason that America did not want to get into the war is because President Wilson was hesitant to help the Allies because America would be helping the Russian Tsar, who was a tyrant. Okay, the Russian Tsar at the time was a terrible leader. He gave his people no freedoms. He killed people just simply for not moving out of the way fast enough whenever he would ride his horse through the streets of Moscow. So we didn't want to side with the Allies early on because we did not want to have a relationship with a Russian dictator. All right, how did the Russian Revolution of 1917 influence President Wilson's decision to get involved in World War I? Let's see. All right, it's D. Okay, the Russian Revolution eliminated President Wilson's concern about entering an alliance with a tyrant. So what basically happened here, folks, is a man named Vladimir Lenin came back to Russia. He was in exile for about 10 years in Switzerland. He comes back to Russia with the help of Germany. Germany wants to pay him $10 million to start a revolution, to overthrow the Tsar of Russia, and to establish a new government and drop out of World War I, so that way Germany's not fighting on the Eastern Front and the Western Front at the same time. Then Germany would be able to take all the soldiers from the Eastern Front and slam them over to the Western Front and quickly defeat the British and the French. That was the purpose of it. And it all went down like that, folks. And Vladimir Lenin is now the leader of the Soviet Union. Eventually that's going to go to be Stalin and some other ones we're going to talk about later. Okay? All right, Germany's victory on the Eastern Front convinces them that they have the ability to win on the Western Front before America can help the Allies. We have the Zimmerman telegram. Again, it's that telegram from Germany to Mexico asking them to invade the United States of America. President Wilson asked Congress to declare war on April 2nd, 1917 in order to make the world safe for democracy. That is the reason that he gave, to make the world safe for democracy. Alright, what was the primary message of the Zimmerman telegram in World War I? Okay, let's see. It's not going to be A, not B, not C, so it must be D. Yes. Okay. The German foreign minister proposed an alliance with Mexico against the United States of America. Which event sparked outrage in the United States and contributed to a U.S. involvement in World War I? That's going to very easily be picked out as the Zimmerman telegram. That is how we got involved, folks. So a couple of takeaways here. The most important two questions is, how did we have so many countries get involved so quickly in World War I? The answer there is secret alliances. The other one is, how did America get involved? That's kind of a three-part answer. You've got the sinking of the Lusitania, which makes America very angry. Then after that, you have the Sussex Pledge, where we let them get away with it. And then 2 years later, the Zimmerman telegram puts the nail in the coffin, and America is so upset about them telling Mexico to invade us that we actually declare war against Germany.